Hi, welcome to another presentation on semiconductor materials. In today's presentation, we are going to see about what are the semiconductor materials, and even before going to the semiconductor materials, how the materials will be differentiated, how the materials will be differentiated, or otherwise we can say the classifications of the materials, or otherwise classifications. Okay, classifications classifications of the materials, right? And then we will see how these materials will be differentiated to each other. Okay, so depending on their energy bands, energy energy bands, are also called as energy gap. Energy gap. Okay, so this is the small introduction we would like to see in this presentation. And now let us see what are the various materials, or otherwise how the materials will be classified. Okay, how the materials will be classified. In general, the materials, okay, the materials will be classified into three broad categories, right? The materials will be classified into three broad categories. What are those categories? The first one is conductors. What is that? The first one is the conductors, and the second one is the insulators. What is that? The second classifications of the material is insulators, and the third one is the semiconductors, right? The third one is the semiconductors. So these are the basic three classifications of the materials. The first one is the conductors, the second one is the insulators. Okay, this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one. Or otherwise you can study about the conductors first, then you can study about semiconductor, or you can study insulator as a third classification. No problem at all, right? So in my presentation I am considering in this, I mean, order: conductors, insulators, and then semiconductors, right? So what are the conductors? Basically, what are the conductors, and what are the insulators, and what are the semiconductors, we will see. Okay, what are the conductors? What is the property of the conductor? So conductor, if you see, what is a conductor? Conductor is nothing but it is the type of material right? It is the type of material which allows the flow of current. So the class of the material, it is a class of the material. What it will do? It is a class of the material which allows the current, or which allows the current I, the current I, okay, which allows the current I to flow through them. So any material this is the definition of a conductor: any material, or the class of the material, or any material which allows the current I to flow through them. So they allows the current to flow through them. Those materials are called conductors. So for example, let us consider human body. Example are the human body, our body. is a example for a conductor, because our body allows the current to flow through it. Okay, human body. Then gold, gold, and then silver, right? Gold, silver, and then copper. Okay, copper, or any metals. These are the examples of conductor. Therefore, conductor is the material which allows the current I, or the current I, to flow through it or through them. These are the some of the simple examples for the conductor. That is the first class of the material, right? Right. Now coming to the insulator. The second class of the material is the insulator. So what are the insulators? What are the insulators? So what are the insulators? Insulators are the class of the material. So insulators are the class of the materials. Okay. So which acts as exactly, okay, exactly opposite to conductor. Exactly opposite to the conductors. What do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? Insulators, this is the class of the materials. Insulators are the class of the materials. They act as exactly opposite to the conductor. What does it mean? So conductors allows the current to flow, whereas the insulator does not allow. This means that they does not allow, right? These insulators does not allow, this is very important, does not allow the current, does not allow the current to flow through them. Okay, so they does not allow the current to, they does not allow, they will not allow. Okay, what are the examples? What are the examples? So examples for insulators are like wood, right? Wood. Okay, wood. And then paper. This is board, whiteboard, anything like that. So any object, okay, wood or paper or whiteboard like this. So they will not allow the current to flow through them. Therefore, this is the example for insulator. So insulator is nothing but they will not allow the current to flow through them. That is the second class of the material. Now coming to the very important class of the material, the third classification is that semiconductors. What is that? Semiconductors. What? Okay, semiconductors. What they will do, semiconductors are, they are the class of the material. They are neither conductor nor insulators. Okay, semiconductors are the material. They are they are they are neither conductors nor insulators. Means that what? Their electrical properties. Okay, the class of the material, right? The class of the materials, the class of the materials whose electrical properties, what is that? Electrical properties lies in between, in between conductors and insulators, right? So whose electrical properties lies in between conductors and then insulators. Therefore, what do you mean by that? So they are not perfect conductors and they are not perfect insulators. So they okay, they will conduct very partially, because as the name itself implies that semiconductors, they conduct semily, partially, we can say, or otherwise as per the perfect definition you can say that. So their electrical properties lies in between the conductors and then the insulators, right? So what are the examples? Very, very important. So the example for semiconductors are the well known, those are called germanium, that is called as germanium. Germanium, so it is denoted by Ge. Okay, and the second one is silicon. What is that? Silicon. Si, this is denoted by Si, silicon. These are the two best examples for the semiconductor, right? One is the germanium, second one is the silicon. These are the perfect examples for the semiconductors. Now, okay, now we have seen that three types of classifications of the materials. The first one is the conductor, okay, which allows the current to flow through them, right? And the second is the insulator. Insulator is the material which does not allow the current to flow through it. And the third is the classification is the semiconductor. Okay, they are neither conductors nor insulators, right? So their electrical properties or their behavior lies in between the behavior of conductor as well as the insulator. Very good, right? So, and these are the simple definition of these the class of the materials, right? So in today's presentation we will finish here itself, and we will continue their energy band diagrams. Okay, so each material will be understood based on their energy band diagrams, right? Energy band diagrams. So that is very, very important actually, or otherwise just roughly I will explain you now. Energy band diagram. Energy band diagram. Very, very important. Energy band diagram. So what is the energy band diagram? Energy band diagram is nothing but it is the graph. It is the graph actually. Okay, it represents the different energy levels. It is a graph actually. It is drawn for the energy. So this is the energy level actually, energy level. And then if you see, this is the x-axis. Okay, this is the, it shows different energy levels actually. Okay, this is the graph drawn between two bands. Basically there are the two bands. Basically one is the valence band, just I will briefly explain now. One band is the valence band, and second band is just above to this valence band, that is called conduction band. They are denoted by like this. The first one is the bottom one is the valence band. In short it is called as, it is denoted by VB. And the upper one is conduction band. This is called conduction band, CB. Okay. So okay, so this is the valence band, this is the conduction band, right? Okay, so there is a gap actually between these two bands. Okay, there is a gap between these two bands. This gap is called as, this gap is called as energy gap. This gap is called as gap or energy gap. This is called as energy gap because, okay, so this is called as energy gap, or also called as forbidden gap. Forbidden, also called as forbidden gap actually. So this is the simple introduction about the energy band. And with respect to this particular energy band diagram, we can study little bit detail, okay, about these conductors and then insulators and then the semiconductors. So the energy band diagram is there individually for these three classes of the materials. Just what we have seen, those classifications are those energy band diagrams of conductors and insulators and then semiconductors we will see in the in our subsequent presentations, right? Thank you very much.